So one thing you guys probably don't know about me is that I can't drive legally, which means my only other option is pretty much to take public transit. Now in Toronto, it's pretty easy to get from point A to point B thanks to something called the Toronto Transit Commission, otherwise known as the TTC. Now I absolutely love the TTC just because I've been taking it for literally my entire life and the fact that it's pretty convenient. But some things are just things I can't stand about the TTC. Hey guys, what's up? Grant here and welcome to my first rant video. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 things I hate about public transportation, mainly the TTC. Let's get into it. Now before I start the video, I want to say that this is just my personal opinion about what I think about the TTC and this may not apply to everyone else. Now with that being said, let's get into it. Number 1. Time schedules. Now if you guys haven't taken the TTC before, they usually have a set time on when the next bus should be coming or how often a bus comes. But sometimes that schedule isn't always correct, and I can understand that. You know, there might be something that happened along the way, but I'm not talking about something that just happened on the way, because there's no way that can happen every single time. Now at the older route I used to take every Sunday to get to church, there would be a bus every 30 minutes. But on the schedule I would say every 10 minutes. Now, the longest I waited for that bus was a full hour and 30 minutes. I left 2 hours in advance and I still ended up late getting to church because of that. So my question is, if you have a schedule that you're just not going to follow, why even have it? Now I know this doesn't apply for all bus drivers or all bus routes, but is that certain route every time, it's always late. And not by 2 or 3 minutes. 20, 30, 40 minutes even, it's late. And then finally, when the bus does come, there are 2 scenarios that can happen. Number 1, the pass is completely packed, so we can't fit any more people on it, and then we have to wait for the next bus, so we have to wait for another 30 or 40 minutes possibly. And the second scenario is that it brings 4 to 5 buses with it. Why on earth would I need 4 to 5 buses? Empty ones at that. I would need the whole community in that area to fill 4 to 5 buses. My question is, why can't they launch that many buses at different times? Maybe one every 10 minutes would be helpful, but you're bringing 5 buses in at one time, every 30 minutes. Like, why would I need that? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. If anyone knows why to do that, please leave in the comment below. I would love to find out why. Number 2, station stops. Now I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, whenever I'm in a new place or a place I'm not familiar with, I would like to find out exactly where I am. What I'm talking about is that voice or that display bar at the top of the bus that shows you what the next stop is. Now I don't know why, but sometimes the display bar does not go off or the voice just doesn't say anything at all. It doesn't give you any information about what the next stop is. I don't know whether it's because it's broken or the bus driver turns it off, but that's one thing that really scares me more than it actually gets me annoyed, because then I have no idea of where I should get off at, especially if I'm in a new location. Now there has been 4 times that I have missed my stop just because the light didn't go off or the voice didn't say anything. And it doesn't give you any warning that it's shutting down. It just shuts down completely random. When that happens, I'm just completely lost, and that's something I absolutely can't stand. Number 3, transfers. Now I know some of you guys haven't even heard of this term. Basically, it's a piece of paper that you get after you put in your ticket or your token or whatever you may be using that is a one-time fare. Now I don't have a transfer with me now, but what it does is basically to show your proof of payment to prove that you have paid for your ride. So when you need to take another bus or streetcar or subway to get to your other stop, that's when you show it to the driver to show you have paid for your ride. As long as you're traveling to Toronto, you only need to pay a one-time fare to get from point A to point B. So every time you need to get on another ride to get to your destination, you just show the transfer to the driver and it's perfectly fine. However, you guys might not know that transfer has a time limit. Usually it's, I believe, half an hour if it's during daytime, and I believe it's 2 to 3 hours if it's, I think, in the nighttime or during the rush hour, like 4 to 6 or 4 to all the way till midnight or something like that. And that can get tricky sometimes when the bus is not always on time. Especially like my first case. In order to get to my church, I need to take 2 buses, which means I need a transfer. And when the bus usually takes more than half an hour, that time limit is just not going to cut it. There has been so many times where I actually almost got into a fight with the bus driver because of that stupid time limit. And I don't mean a verbal fight, I mean a
catch me outside, how about that?
kind of fight. Like, how is a half an hour time limit going to cut it when your bus literally takes a half an hour? They go to me like,
yeah, you can't use that transfer anymore because it's past time limit.
And I go like,
how is that my fault? You took half an hour to get here, so explain to me why this is not usable again?
Like, I just absolutely don't get their logic. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, Is it that, like, am I not speaking English? Anyways, on to number 4. Number 4, environment. Now this is not the TTC's fault. It has nothing to do with them whatsoever. It's more about just public transportation in general. This video is called Top 5 Things I Hate About Public Transportation, so it's not just focused on TTC, even though that's kind of what I've been tackling. But yeah, anyways, the environment. If you guys take public transportation, you know that it's messy, especially in the winter. You know, there's a bunch of stuff going on. It's a very, very hectic situation. And when you're on the bus, especially standing, it is rough. There are so many situations, you know, it's crowded, there are people, a lot of obnoxious people, there are strollers. I hate, absolutely detest strollers. Now I know the parents don't really have a choice because they have to take their kid, but the strollers take up so much space. They take up the space of like 2 to 3 people, or even 4 people with the massive, like, huge strollers. And they can't move them. It's hard to get around one, especially when I'm trying to get off and they block my way. So the public transportation is a very, very hard environment to cope with just because there's so many things going on. And you know, sometimes it's very annoying, especially the people that are very loud and obnoxious, like they're shouting at the top of their lungs, talking with their friends. I mean, yes, they do have the right to do that, but it's just consideration for others. That's what I'm trying to say. And last but not least, number 5, attitude. Now a lot of things in this list don't apply to all TTC drivers. A lot of things just apply to certain drivers or some things I personally experienced. But yeah, attitude. Now just because you had a bad day doesn't mean you have the right to take your anger on someone else. Now just because you had a bad day doesn't mean you have the right to take your anger on someone else, especially a rider. Now there's this one time I was coming home from the supermarket carrying a lot of groceries, and basically I just had 2 boxes and I wanted to bring them all one by one. And I asked the bus driver, very, very kindly, very politely, "Sorry sir, but can you please wait a minute while I bring these boxes onto the bus?" He responded like this.
Are you serious, dude? Are you really serious? Yeah, kidding me, kid. Really? Like,
To which me, I was like, really? I mean, it's a few boxes. Now if you can't do it, just say, you know, "I'm sorry, there's a lot of people waiting, I can't keep them waiting," or something. And then just drive off. You don't have to give me that attitude or give any rider that attitude. So my response was, you know what, just whatever. You know, I don't even want to get on your bus now because I don't want to deal with that. Now if he replied very nicely, or if he just gave like even a normal response, I'd be completely fine with that. I'm like, yeah, it's just fine, I understand. But no, he gives me this.
are you serious, dude? Are you really serious? Yeah, kidding me, kid. Really? Like,
So in my mind, I'm just thinking, man, this jack. So yeah, that's probably the thing I hate most about probably everything in this list, is just their attitude. But yeah, that wraps up my video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up down below and subscribe. This also is my first rant video, so this may be a bit weird. There might be a lot of cuts, just because I'm still a bit new to this rant stuff. You know, usually when I rant at my friends or just do a rant in general, I'm just all over the place. So, but for a video, I try to be more orchestrated or planned out in a way, and I didn't write a script, so there's nothing I can really go off of. But yeah, that's it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.